Hello, how's it going? This is Rough and Rule on the Down for Real Gaming podcast. I am with my co-host, Digested Raptor. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How about yourself, man?
It's going pretty all right, pretty all right. We're just sitting here in a hot box right now. I would really love to be able to turn the fan on, but I can't. So, but today I'm really glad that we actually get the first day of this started because we really just kind of came up with this on the spot. I
Yeah.
know that you and our other co-host, he's not here at the moment. Um, he's not here at the moment, but he hopefully will be here the next time. You said you guys were talking about it for a while and just never really got to it. Um, which that's kind of how it was for myself as well. So,
Yeah.
but maybe with all of us kind of working together and stuff, we're gonna come up with something. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, I'll actually have you start. I actually, you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah. So, my name's Digested Raptor. Otherwise, if you want to go by my real name, it's Cody. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I've been. I mean, this is going to be a gaming podcast and a gaming channel, and I mean, I've got what 20, 22, 23 years of gaming experience, and it all started out with a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red.
That was your first. That was your first video game, huh?
Yeah, that was my first video game, my first handheld. And then shortly after that, I got a N64 with Banjo Kazooie.
Um, I'm not gonna lie. That I actually really like Banjo Kazooie. I'd probably put that on one of my top favorite games. But that's cool. I know you do a bit of streaming every once in a while or stuff like that. I know you're a big sports player, so
Yeah, I try to stream when I can.
right. And I know like I said, you play a lot of EA games. I know you're a big Madden fan. Um, Shout out, I know you got Madden 23. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it, but I'll probably just wait till it drops on Game Pass myself.
It's an EA game.
I know exactly. It's an EA game. You come in with low expectations. It's kind of like going to Burger King. You just know what you're gonna get, no matter how much they hype it up. Like you know,
It's got its good moments and it's got its bad moments, but I mean, I will say it does feel better than the last two games, which is a good thing.
oh yeah, that's a good thing. When you're at negative, the only way to go is up. Like for myself, I've been playing video games ever since the N64. I would say. I really started off. Actually, the first ever quote actual video game I ever played was like this little baseball kind of game. It's like back in the '90s. I don't know. Me and my
One,
brothers got it.
one of
It
those little handheld things.
well, like you have a little bat, right? And then they have like a ball, and you're supposed to like simulate throwing the ball, and
Oh,
simulate
okay.
hitting the bat and stuff. Yeah, it was great. We had it for like 8 minutes, and it broke. Um,
That sounds like every kid. That sounds like every kid.
exactly. Like, it breaks apart. You're like, well, why doesn't it put itself back together? Like, Jimmy Neutron's dog can do this. Why the hell can't this? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so
You buy something expensive, it breaks in 5 minutes. You buy something cheap, it's put to the side in 5 minutes.
oh, exactly. But no, it's like I've been playing. Yeah, I played throughout the years. I remember like the Ocarina of Time was one of the big ones I remember, and like Super Mario 64. Like, I just call them the kind of like the vanilla games of like Nintendo, especially the N64 era. The Banjo Kazooie, obviously, but like
Yeah, your Mario's, your
yeah, your
Legend
Mario's,
of
your
Zelda,
Zeldas, your Donkey
Donkey
Kongs.
Kong.
And then I just went all the way, went through the years. I think like it was really funny because we had the 360, and then the 360 era, and I always wanted a GameCube because I just never had one. Like the Xbox never bothered me because I already had the 360 anyways. So I was just like, okay, well I'm gonna get a GameCube, and I bought the GameCube, and it was like the most fun I had in so long.
Yeah,
Um,
I was one of those lucky kids that had every system that came out because I since I had my parents weren't together, basically I'd have one parent buy me one system and the other parent give me the other system.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, could be worse. Could have no systems.
Yeah.
So, um, but no, I loved them. I don't know. What is your favorite system actually? For keys?
Um, Favorite system? I mean, I'd say an easy answer for a go-to is the PS2. I mean, that's probably the most iconic system of people of our age, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
just because it brought in a lot more of the upgraded 3D graphics. It was probably everybody's first DVD player, and I had the slim model, so it just made it so much easier to put it somewhere to play compared to the bulky version that came out originally.
All right. No, I get you. Yeah, that's the PS2 was amazing. I mean, it had my personal favorite. No, excuse me, favorite franchise or series out there on there, the Ratchet and Clank series. Um, and then obviously you always think of the big three when you think of the PS2, the Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank. But they did have a bunch of other ones. I know God of War. I'm a big I'm a big Dances Revolution fan, so that was the one I remember playing it on the most.
Oh yeah,
Um,
everybody pretty much had Dance Dance Revolution or Guitar Hero or SingStar.
yeah, yeah, and like I said, I personally really love Dances Revolution, mainly just because of the fact that one, it gets you moving. Two, I can't really do it much anymore. I actually haven't. I probably couldn't do it much anymore. I'm probably just too fat. But and it just I remember the last time I did it. It messed with my ankles. Like I would need like a bigger dance pad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because like it's small
got,
enough where yeah.
gotta get one of them stages.
Yeah, right. Like, well, I got massive feet, dude. Like, I got like size like 14, depending on size 14, 15 shoe. So
Yeah,
like my foot has to kind of contort a little bit to be on the dance pad. So it just makes it like uncomfortable.
I know how that can be.
Yeah, like the only reason I'd wish I was like smaller. You know what I mean? The only reason why. Um, but yeah, I'd probably go myself wise. I'd probably go with. I love the GameCube. I think it just had a lot of really fun games between like the Super Mario Sunshine. I love the Legend of Zelda. I love Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah,
like I
well that was the best era of it.
yeah, like you can't have a bad time playing Super Monkey Ball. I love the Wii too, the Wii as well, but that's because like Wii Sports was just so engaging, way more than it should be. I'm sure.
One, it was easy for everybody to pick up and play.
Right, right. And, they actually, unlike Battlefield 2042, they actually had a scoreboard. So, like, um, but, I loved it. Honestly, I loved the GameCube. And then I kind of, like, I guess I said the Wii, but, like, just because it could also play GameCube games. Um, it was, it was just an underrated console. It really was. Like that, I think that was just a fantastic generation. I mean,
Yeah.
you had
Oh yeah.
Xbox with the online, you had the GameCube with just their overall fun games, and the fact that that thing was just a brick. And it just yeah, it's just an overall just a great time. But today, I know we really wanted to discuss the some EA today because I mean, what podcast isn't complete without taking a shot at EA for absolutely no reason at all? and I think we should start off with just some of the games that we do enjoy from EA. It doesn't have to necessarily be the sports system. I know we'll definitely get into the sports aspect of it because I know especially you got a lot to talk about it. Um, but I think if when you think about EA, what do you think? Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I mean, obviously, the first thing I'm going to think of is sports games, but I mean, they've got such a wide variety of games, which is not a bad thing. Um, and then what? I don't know if you've heard, but what is it? I think EA's in line to get bought out by Amazon,
Yeah, I saw something about it. I haven't looked into it yet.
which I don't know how I necessarily feel about that.
Yeah, well, they were looking into like I think they were looking into like Disney and stuff too.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I mean, they lost the FIFA license, I believe. So,
yeah,
um,
but I mean, get back on topic. I mean, EA is going to be a cornerstone of like anybody's gaming library. Like you're gonna have played or have a current game that you're playing that's probably somehow involved with EA,
right?
just because they're just so big of a company.
No, exactly. And they've been around for they've been around for so long that
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to not think of EA when when you just think of like the game companies in the world. Um, I know like myself, I like one of the first things that always comes to mind is that, just a lot of like older, yeah, sports games, definitely. But it's just their older stuff. You know what I mean? Like what EA kind of felt like they kind of what they meant back in the day, where they had Medal of Honor, the older ones, and the SSX and EA Sports Big. You know what I mean? Um, and they branched off and did all this kind of stuff because they were trying to make games that were fun and um, didn't take your wallet out back. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and I
Uh,
mean, EA is such a big thing, especially so like we're both Xbox gamers primarily.
mhm.
And Xbox has that EA Play Pass. So
Right.
you got games and games dating back to the Xbox era that you can play on there.
Right. No, no,
Um,
absolutely.
but like one of my favorite franchises, and it's probably not a lot of people's franchises from EA, is the Army of Two series.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played that or not.
I briefly, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends to play it with, so.
Uh, well, the first game I played a lot with my biological father. But then like the second game had more of the multiplayer aspect to it, so I played that. The
Mhm.
third game, I've never been able to get my hands on it just because it didn't do so well.
Right.
But like, it's just a fun game to just go. I think it's just a fun game to just go aggro in if you want, and there's a lot of customization and everything.
Right. Yeah, I never played it. Yeah, I never really played them myself too much. Like, I thought I would just, I did play the first one a little bit, but wasn't much at all. But I definitely feel that. Like, I guess like when I look at like some of the games that I really get excited for. I mean, I wasn't like, super excited for Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 was my first real dip into Battlefield. So when I finally was like,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna give it a chance, and I was like, oh, this game's actually really fun. And like I said before, some of their earlier they're not even just their earlier sports style. Like I've been playing Skate. I love Skate. I think Skate's a fantastic game. I'm
You ready
excited
for that
for
new
to that.
skate?
Huh?
You ready for the new skate?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like I know it's gonna be like a free to play model and all that stuff, but personally, I don't care because I'm here just to skate around and just not do anything. Yeah, it is. It's kind of just a fun little time waster. Um, but it's they're just fun games, and that's why I miss like in the 2012 version of SSX. Um, it just didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to. It was like trying to combine the little more realism of some of the like the three like SSX 3, but then they still wanted to do the tricky aspect of SSX tricky, and it
Yeah.
just kind of made this. It was a bad mix, and it didn't do all that well, and it really sucks because I think an SSX, just a remaster, just give us like a remaster or a remake of SSX Tricky, and I think things would be fine. People really enjoyed them back in the day, and so I can't really see them not really enjoying that over the top now. There really is no, I mean, Steep came in and Riders Republic, but to be honest, there really is no real snowboarding game, you know.
No. Well, that's
And
why I don't think it's EA. I think it's Ubisoft. That's why I still go back and play Sean White.
mm,
I don't know if you ever played Sean White snowboarding at all.
mm-mm.
Uh, I mean, I've never played SSX or anything, but it's just a good like, or like if you ever played Amped.
I believe so. It's
It's like
that one rings a bell.
yeah, is I would say it's like Sean White is more similar to like Amped, where it's like semi-realistic.
Hmm.
Um, it kind of fell under the same veil as like the Tony Hawk games, where they had a big celebrity behind it.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
people really loved that. I'll tell you what.
but so you started with Battlefield 3.
Yeah, I like if I wanted to get into like any of like the shooters and stuff, like I was a Call of Duty fanatic for a while, and then I think like everybody was when they were younger. Um,
Oh, yeah, especially during that mid 2000s to to early 2010s era.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so I felt like because I was playing Halo and all the other ones, and I felt like I kind of needed to branch off. So I decided to go and try Halo or not Halo. I'm sorry, Battlefield 3. And the first time I played it, I mean I got mollywopped. I'm not gonna lie. I got mollywopped, and that's just I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's
like
definitely more skill based than Call
yeah.
of Duty.
And so, but once I started figuring it out, oh, I was like, I was rocking, and I loved it. I loved playing it, and I liked three. I think went four, and then I just
Did
kind of
you play
stopped.
Bad Company at all, or no?
Yeah, I played Bad Company 1. I played it at a friend's house,
You
and
played the
I
second
actually,
one?
I didn't remember the second. No, I didn't play the second one.
I'd say if you enjoyed the first one, take a shot at the second one.
Right, and yeah, I like them. I think they were good. I kind of strayed off from shooters for a while, but yeah, it's definitely Battlefield was is an interesting one. It's a very interesting, like they were really just quite a different game,
It,
than the Halos, than the Call of Duties, and honestly, I think Battlefield 3 is by far my favorite. I mean, obviously I'm limited, but it's by far one of my favorite shooters. Um,
it's definitely a good alternative.
right. Oh no, exactly. And though, but that's kind of back in the past. So when you kind of look at the games that EA came out with now, I mean, we could start with like sports games from the back then till now. I mean, I don't know. Like my thoughts. I mean, I think my thoughts are going to be a lot different than yours. Um, are going to be kind of different than yours. I don't know. What is your thoughts? When you think of like EA Sports in like the early 2000s to 2010s, right? To the 2010s
Yeah.
to like where it is now. What do you get? What do you feel like from that?
Well, I think they really hit their prime during that PS2, GameCube, Xbox era, and especially because they had competition and they had NFL Game Day, they had NFL 2K, and there's one other franchise I can't think about. But then once EA got the rights to be the only company, then they kept a hot streak going for a couple of years after that. But I think once everybody kind of forgot about those other franchises, man, EA Sports kind of realized, hey, we can kind of coast it from here.
Mm. No,
So I mean, like
I think so too.
their prime, I'd say is like '05 to like '09. is their prime for like EA Sports in general.
See, I would say, I would even go as this is just me. But if we were gonna go talking about like the EA back then, because I think, especially since we're basically talking Madden right now, more or less. But EA, I think that for the Madden franchise, I think honestly, it ended at 2012. Because 2013 was the connected careers and
Yeah.
the start of Ultimate Team. And Ultimate Team, like I know, like you like Ultimate Team, so I don't want to sit there like and knocking on it too much. But I think
Oh,
Ultimate Team,
it's a money grab.
it is, and I think Ultimate Team ruined Madden. Honestly, personally, I think Ultimate
Well,
Team ruined Madden.
I mean, just to
Um,
kind of step on your statement, I don't know if you're aware that Ultimate Team's been around since '08, '09,
oh really?
or no, maybe it was 10 or 11. Somewhere around 9 to 11 is when it started.
Mhm. I know that
So
13 is where it really cemented itself.
yeah,
Um,
that's kind of where it jumped. Because the first couple of years, it was a very
Niche,
they were still trying to figure it out, so it was a very basic game mode.
right? No, and when we had now with how it's become, they just kind of shelved everything out of the way. Like I personally, because I look at it and I look at like a Madden. I'm just gonna go Madden 22 because I haven't played 23. So just from like a Madden 22, and like I look at like their story modes are so awful. They're to me they're some of the laziest attempts at a story mode. I'm not expecting like an over the top grand arcing like you know gonna change my worldview story, but I am expecting a good one. And after playing like okay, so this is a bit different, but after playing Fight Night Champions, it's absolutely a story mode could be done if you would just get off your ass and do
Yeah,
it. Like it's like they want to focus on like they're the ultimate team and they're like, oh well, you want to focus, we really want to redo the franchise and the gameplay. But even like I said, I haven't played 23. I've heard very mixed things. Some people say it's amazing. Some people say, it's like, oh, like you said, it's like, well, it's better than the other two. Well, that still doesn't seem like it raises the bar.
yeah, that's not a very hard bar to break.
Yeah, like so it's I mean, saying that it's like, oh, it's the best Madden in years. I'm like, that's not telling. That's not a positive thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it like the yeah, this you could say this man 23 is the best man in years, but it has no comparison to like man no 08, man no 09.
right, exactly. And I think that's where it's really gets to a bummer. I'm playing, like I said, I'm playing through Fight Night, and you can just feel how much they put into that. They gave you a story. Like Fight Night. Do you know Fight Night Champions is an M-rated game?
It's a what?
It's M-rated game.
Yeah, oh, a lot of those like sports games in that era, there was a lot more like T
Yeah,
and M rated ones
like
because
it's
you had Blitz the League, and you had those for
well, Blitz the League was also like a kind of like a derivative. Honestly, this is probably a very unpopular opinion, but I actually didn't like Blitz the League. But that's because I'm such a faithful to Blitz. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So when I did play it, oh excuse, when I did play it, um, I didn't feel the same thing. But however, in on the 360 era, someone did remake Blitz. They remade NFL Blitz, and I was like, oh my gosh, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like nothing ever came of that, and it really sucks because I really wish someone would just remake an NFL Blitz style game.
Well, they needed to just bring EA Sports Big back,
They really do,
bring all the street games back. But I know all the street game stuff is now going to be relegated to 2K
right? Well, I
because
know it.
2K is in the process of a arcade style football game right now.
which would be cool. It would be cool to see one. I mean, I kind of miss NBA Street. You know, I miss the NBA Street games. I miss um, the NFL Street games. So I mean, and I know like the NFL, they Madden tried to do like, oh well, we don't have NFL Street, but we do have the yard, and I'm like, oh, okay,
But
like
yeah, it's like that's not the same thing.
this is by far not the same thing, And I'm
No.
like, if you wanted to, one of the things to improve Madden, um, if we could like, okay, so one thing I can't stand it, but I don't know what they did in 23, but in 22 and even 21, and I believe in 20, what they would do is that they would do these story modes because I actually don't mind these like face of the franchise, these superstar modes, right? I'm still going to call it
Yeah.
superstar. And instead of doing this like, oh, we got this new mode and all this other kind of crazy, and then it just ends after the first year in the NFL.
Yep.
Like, and then it's just like, oh, this is just the same thing, and I'm like, then what the fuck's the point of doing this? Like, this is some half baked bullshit. Like, I was playing it into like year 2 into year 3, right? And they were still calling me rookie. Like, I was like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah. So this year's concept is you're entering your 5th year of your career, and you're like a struggling veteran in the NFL.
Hmm.
Um,
They must have really
basically,
took
you're
inspiration from Baker Mayfield.
yeah. Basically, it's like you just got done with your rookie deal, and you're disappointing so far as a player. So now you're going to a new franchise and trying to restart your career.
They're not even giving you a chance to go to college anymore. Like,
No. Well, I
they're
think
just
they're
like,
going to start backing off of that with NCAA football coming back.
I mean, as long as NCAA football is, they could take an NCAA football 14 and just slap a 23 on the label, and I think people wouldn't care.
Oh yeah, bring like Road to Glory back and
Oh yeah, Road to Glory and like that's all they would.
Dynasty,
Like
and
you
I
have everything there.
and they had just introduced Ultimate Team on there, which yeah, that's not a mode for everybody, but it was cool to see like, hey, look at all these college guys that either are legends of the game, or there's even guys where like what was it like guys like Kirk Herbstreit or like Dan Lefevre were getting cards, and it's like not everybody knows who some of these players are, but it's like if they were from your favorite school and they were in the game, it's like what I can actually play as them. I don't got to go back and buy a game from the '90s to play as the guy.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Like I think I really hope that it turns out well. You know what I mean? Because that would be one that I would buy at $60 if it does turn out well. And there's a lot riding on that NCAA.
Yeah.
NCAA's back right now.
And what I hope they do too is reincorporate the Road to Glory into the Superman Superstar mode. It's like you make a guy in NCAA, he gets done with college, and then you import him over to Madden again.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I really hope they do. Um, I mean, do I think they will? To be honest with you, I don't think so.
Well, I think they have such a high bar that's being set by the community that they have to at least do something.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Because if it's not reminiscent of the old NCAA games, there's gonna be a riot on their hands.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Well, they'll just do what every other developer does and just attack their fan base because that seems to be the surefire way to get people to buy your stuff is to attack your fan base and then say that like, oh, hey, I'm the victim here. You know, like
Yeah.
I think you set your bar. I think you guys set your bar too high. No, you guys set that. That's why we expect it. Like,
Oh, and it doesn't help that they've been teasing NCAA for like the past 2-3 years now.
right. I mean,
It's coming back. Oh, where is it?
yeah, right. Like, well, we have to actually work on it. Like,
We actually have to make a game.
yeah, right. Like, we're going back to basics here. What do you mean? Well, we can't just copy and paste anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm afraid that it's just gonna feel like another Madden
oh, it's going to.
because that was the
There
thing with the
was
old NCAA games. They did not feel like Madden. They felt like a
no.
different football game.
It does. It feels like a very much a different football game. They put their heart and soul into it. Madden 13 is my favorite one, except for the fact of the safeties being able to just run down the whole field and just break what plays for no fucking reason. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, oh my god, that guy's wide open. You just sling the ball down the field, and it'd be so cool. And then all of a sudden, here comes just a safety. It just you would just catch it out of nowhere. You're like, you know what? I don't even care. But in this one, it'd be great because your wide receiver will touch grass and instantly drop it. So
Well, yeah,
like,
because what was it to combat that issue? They made the whole spec catch thing, and like, oh, I'm just gonna moss you every play, and then it's like
right?
I'm just gonna throw it up, and my receiver's gonna catch it every time.
Like, like catching in traffic works great when the stat actually works. Like you have like a 79, but like an 890 something catching in traffic, so your guy will just drop it for no reason. Like you throw it into double coverage because you know he'll catch it then. It's so stupid. But like, and that's and that's where I'm really hoping for. That's why actually, now that we bring up NCAA, I also really hope for um another fight night game. Like I know that there's another boxing game coming through, but let's be honest, that's not what we really want. Like I want a fight night game. I just got to the point where I just beat Mike Tyson's ass in 3 rounds. Okay, like I feel like an untouchable juggernaut because I learned how to like I was like, oh, okay, it's like, well, you gotta learn how to do counter punching, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I learned how to do counter punching, right? And then they're like, okay, well, you gotta deal with these outside fighters. Okay, well, I'll try to learn how to do the outside fighters. And like now, everyone just kind of gets mollywopped in like 3 rounds. Like I've went to 12 rounds like once, and now because it's okay. So like it's really funny because as you're playing it, like you get the body shots or headshots. So I'm just gonna do straight headshots. It's like screw it. You know what I mean? This is the equivalent of just throwing up Hail Marys every time. And like so I boosted up my guy's a counter puncher. He can do these like jabs. He does a lot of jabs. Uh and then like that's almost all of it. Like I probably I think I won by knockout and I threw one body shot. Like and it was on a counter punch. But like all you do is
Yeah.
you hit him like, obviously in the face a lot. And eventually they'll be like, "Oh, his eye is completely closed." And I'm like, "Okay, so he can't see out of that eye, which means that you just jab the shit out of that eye." And like
You can't see me now.
the game doesn't know what to do. Because like if you swing to the left, yeah, he'll block it. But if you swing to the right, he just won't. He won't guard it no matter what. So like he just boom, ping, 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 just like next thing you realize that this dude's just on the ground. And on top of that, they give you little like perk things. So like at one point, your guy might like knock down an opponent without having to trigger a stun. You know, so as long as I keep out of like out of arm's length, and I know the distance of my arm compared to my opponent's face, so you just keep doing jabs and straight shots, and you just boom, just straight punch, and this by the time this guy finally gets to you, I'm sure his fucking brain's just rotating like doing the fucking cha cha slide, and just like I feel so bad for him at this point.
Mama.
Right? Like I hit him so hard that sound comes. He's like, "Mother!" Just fucking drops him. Like,
He's dead.
they're like, "Oh, and he's down. He's not getting back." And it's funny because like since my character has the title, and it's like I can only take on like the top like 6 people. I can't go to like the top 30th and go fight him anymore. So like I have to take on the top 6. So like I'm thinking I'm gonna try to lose on purpose so that I fall in the rankings and then have to build myself back up. So it's
Gotta make it fun.
it's fun. Like I love it. It's super fun. It's oh goodness. My body's still recovering. This I'm not gonna lie, COVID's a monster, dude. Like it's definitely one of the
Yeah,
most interesting. But
it, it
yeah, I
definitely
want.
kicked my butt.
Oh yeah, dude, it's whipped my ass so good in a way that I'm not happy with. Um, but like, before we head off on here, I do want to like mention like what are you working on right now? Like, what kind of games are you working on? Uh, Stuff that like you might be doing that like some like our audience actually knows.
Uh, I mean, I'm starting to get into Madden 23 as is. I'm getting ready and geared up for 2K23 to come out around the corner. And then I've been kind of going back and dabbling in to some Fortnite just to kind of see where that game's at this point and everything. And I really do enjoy the zero build mode on there because I'm not trying to build a skyscraper.
Right. No, that's
But
true.
what about yourself?
Just trying to get for me, I'm trying to get some more gear to actually do like more streaming stuff. It'd be nice to actually have another computer and all that, so I can actually like start streaming on off of the computer itself. Um, I'm still working. I still got a story thing in the works that I'm working on, and really just besides that, it's just kicking ass and fight night and going through Borderlands. Borderlands 3 again is another big one, and I gotta finish Elden Ring. Uh, I restarted over on it. I just wasn't having as much fun with the build that I was. I'm going through as like a pretty much like a mage. So I think it's called an astrologer, which I'm not an astrology person, but whatever. Like, but we'll see. I'm always kind of keeping in the loop, and I got a couple other side projects I'm trying to work on with like YouTube videos and stuff as well too.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
with all that being said, I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this. We are down for real gaming. You can catch us on YouTube. Uh, we have a Twitter account, Twitch as well. Hopefully, get that back up and running sometime soon. I know it'd be cool to actually, Cody, actually to have like you guys. Let's say you and um, Wolverine do like you want to do one of your matches on the stream, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just an idea or something like that. I know like once I'm a big Persona fan. I believe Persona 5 is coming to Xbox. So as soon as that drops on Xbox, that's going to be pretty much I'm going to be streaming the hell out of that.
Yeah,
So
Wolverine, a buddy of ours. Yeah, him and I mean, I'm sure we could work out doing some of our Ultimate Team stuff on there because him and I will do friendlies against each other, or we'll do some squad games. But
right,
then also, um, if people are interested, I'm going to be starting my free agent franchise on Madden 23 here pretty soon, where I go in, pick a team, we cut everybody and we sign the free agents that are in the free agent market that not including the guys that we cut, and we build a franchise up from that.
that sounds really intense, actually. Like,
Yeah, I like to do that for my franchise at the start of the year, and then when we get towards the end of the season, I like to do my rookie franchise where we pick a team, cut everybody, or not cut everybody, but we trade everybody for draft picks, and we have to draft an entire team and work from our way from that.
Oh my god. That's interesting. Yeah, I know. Like if I can get, I would love to get more for Borderlands 3. Like more people to play for Borderlands 3. To go do another run through of it, but hopefully we can. But without that being said, I am Rough and Rule. That is Digested Raptor, and we will see you in the next one. Later.